Could we please? And they did please in all caps, so I'm trying to emphasize appropriately. Could we please get your perspective on intellectual games, mind fucks, and so on? Oh, the terminology, intellectual games, mind fuck, vague. And I don't like to answer. That's the one I was waiting for. I don't like to answer specifically when presented with a vague question. So I'm going to get specific with my definition on a mind fuck, and then we're going to talk about it. So the actual dictionary definition of a mind fuck is the deliberate infliction of psychological damage. Now, that's not my jam. You shouldn't be doing that. If you are trying to deliberately inflict psychological damage, you are an abuser. You're not playing. You're not a dominant. You are an abuser. If you are trying to deliberately inflict psychological damage on somebody, that is abuse. Okay. So if that is the definition of a mindfuck, no, I'm going to say mindfucks are absolutely unacceptable. I don't think that is accurate to what we can do as dominants in BDSM. So here's my definition of a mindfuck. Anything that you do that triggers emotions and responses in a way that demands great trust. It seems vague, but it's really not when we actually break it down. I'll say it again. My definition of a mindfuck is triggering any emotions or responses that demand great trust. So in other words, we are triggering emotions and responses like fear, uncertainty, doubt, etc. We are not deliberately trying to inflict any sort of damage, but we are triggering emotions and responses that demand our submissive trust us. A couple of the examples that came to mind to illustrate this would be like if you're doing some knife play with a submissive and you prep some fake blood. That's a mindfuck. Where they're like, am I bleeding that much? They can't see where you cut, but they may see all the fake blood. Strategically, dripping or whatever. I don't care how you stage it. Right? Need it? Okay. Mindfuck. Let's say you are doing a role play and you have a submissive who cannot see. Then maybe a mindfuck could be the illusion of adding in another person or identity. Like I wrote a role play story, which you can read and listen to the weekend on Patreon, where the dominant is taking the submissive through this interrogation scene, and the submissive cannot see. They have a whole hood on. They cannot see anything. And even their hearing is a little off. And they're going through this interrogation kind of scene. There's a point in this role play where the submissive doesn't know who is with her. Hell, literally just like, I don't mean just, but even just a CNC scene. All of that is a mindfuck, right? You have to set the scenario like you don't want this, even though they really do. And you have to act like you're a big scary stranger, even though they already know you. That's a whole lot of mindfuck in that. There are subtle ways that you can even do this, like pulling out some toys, like you're prepping for a scene and you invite your submissive into the scene and you have toys laid out and they see the toys and you see them see the toys. You don't use any of those toys in your scene, but in their mind, they're going, oh, this is what they're going to do to me. That's a little subtle mindfuck. Even something as emotionally sadistic as like feigning incompetency. This can be a really effective strategy where dominance, you know that you know that you know that you know what you're doing. Let's say rigging, for instance. You know that you know that you know that you know what you're doing. But you feign incompetency as a mind fuck, as a little bit of fear play. So you start binding your submissive and say things like, wait, shoot, is that how I was supposed to do I hope that doesn't cut off circulation. I think that's what they said, but I think we should be fine. Okay. Do I have my safety shears? Like things like that, where your submissive is like, wait, what the fuck? That's risky. This is risky. Use it wisely. Fumbling around, things like that. Absolutely. These are all different levels of intensity and strategies that you can absolutely apply to a mindfuck situation. It feels scary, but it's safe. Oh, that's not supposed to turn that way. Exactly. You can enter a room in sneakers and they notice the sound of the sneakers walking to know it's you. Change the boots to change the noise. They associate with you and your walking pace when you enter a room. Ding, ding, ding. Make them feel like, oh my gosh, is this my dominant? Is this a stranger? Have they let me out? What's going on?